Morning everyone, welcome back to Carbonwurks HQ. Different voice, different face today, so you lucky devils get to see more of me. This is a 72 plate Brooklyn Grey M4. It's already got some carbon on it in the form of a M Performance rear wing, and the good news is the customer wants a whole lot more, which is what it's here for today. So we've got a full package going on, full skirts, front, side and rear, front duct kit, door mirror caps and the wing vents. I'm going to be doing all of that today before the customer leaves, and the great news is I'm going to walk you guys through it. So this video is going to be a bit more involved. You'll see a lot more of what's going on, me taking off the front bumper, some of the other parts of the car. Might be a good insight to those of you that are too far away or in other countries that might fancy having a go at fitting the parts yourself. But yeah, different video, great car. That's about all there is to say. I'm going to get cracking, we'll get into it. Okay, so as you can tell, the car is in, and I think you'll agree we've been very considerate in colour coding the rest of our workshop to it. Brooklyn Grey sets off against the new cabinets and flooring, the eagle-eyed amongst you will have already spotted. It's all here, which is great. So the car's in. As with every vehicle, we do our best to make sure it leaves in the exact same condition it arrives. So inside, got the full interior protection package, seat cover, wheel cover, floor cover. And then I've just prepped ready for the front end work, which I'm going to get started with. So you've got the sticky back film to protect the paint on the wings, and the wing edge where the front bumper's coming off. We've got these wing vent grills that are coming off as well. So just use of low tack masking tape wherever I'm going to be making contact with the bodywork and the paintwork. We've got some contactless cleaner, all that sort of stuff. So you'll see me using some of this kit throughout the video today. But the first step, working front to rear on this job, is going to be getting the front bumper off, ready for the front ducts, which will be coming up next. Okay, so joining me at the front end, it's going to be front bumper off, as I say. Not too big a job, sounds worse than it is. We've got a row of fixings across the top here. The under trays at the bottom also need to come off, and then lastly I'll be into the wing area, into the wheel arch, just to get the last tail end fixings off here, and the plug connectors for things like the parking sensors, and if it's got it, cameras and so on and so forth. So yeah, some trim tools for plastic fixings and bolts underneath that up here, 8mm bolts or 10mm bolts on the under trays, and then some fixings up in the wing ends, again usually 8 to 10mm. And that will be it. So yeah, you'll probably think I make light work of it, but it's not as bad as it sounds. And in the coming shots, you'll see this falling off pretty quickly. Okay, so ready to remove the bumper now. I'm sure Tim will have spliced in wheels and arch liners off to gain access into the end fixings and the wiring for all the Parktronic sensors. Under trays off just to make life easy. There's 2 clips up underneath that need to be released, and as you can tell, it's just about hanging on there, so it's ready to come off, which brings me to introduce Dan, who is managing director slash apprentice slash T-boy for the day. So yeah, he's going to give me a hand, and we're just going to pop it on the trestle over there.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Born ready. And just like that, the face is off.
Okay.
So you join me at the front bumper. We've got a few nice parts going on this one. Unfortunately, grills are here to stay for those of you that aren't a fan. That's the only thing that's not getting done today. But we've got the front ducts, so these are being replaced, which is a fit from the inside. And then the full splitter, including these side spoilers here. So the great news with our parts is they all fit exactly like the standard factory part. This is just a straight case of removal and replacement. So the majority of this is actually going to be done from behind the bumper. So I'll have it flipped over. On here you'll see the plastic inner lining of the bumper, which will have to be removed. It's actually quite a straightforward process, which we'll try and document for you. So they're going to come off both sides, so I can replace the ducts, and then I can work on the lower splitter last. The new parts are here, so I'll just give you a sneak preview. This is one of our front ducts, so that's going to offer, as you can tell, quite an aggressive change of look on the front end. So this will be the one for the passenger side here, so I'll just remove that trim, remove the original grill and replace with this, clip straight in all around the edge with the foam gasket. Really nice full pre-preg part with all the printed clips around the edge, so it goes straight on. Not had an issue with a single one of these yet, which is nice. So that's that. Pop that there, and then I'll just show you one part here of the front splitter package. So it's a 3-piece. We replace the individual spoilers at the side separately and then add the front lip in the middle. This again is the driver's side, left-hand side part, so that's going to replace it there. Again, picking up on all the same factory mounting points, which makes life nice and easy and also means it's fully secured once it's gone on. So I'll just unbolt that, a few trim clips across the bottom, and I'll be able to stick the additional bit on, and away she goes. But yeah, just taking caution to prep the paint. We also usually use a heat gun just to activate the adhesive on the tape, make sure it's on there for good, basically. So yeah, we'll video along the way. You'll see some clips of me taking these inner shields off and all the parts. Again, mostly done with trim tools, plastic non-marking trim tools, an 8mm on the gun, and that's about it really. So yeah, watch this space. So working behind the bumper now, about the midpoint on fitting the front ducts. So as I said before, the inner skin has to come out, series of trim clips there and a little bit of wiring for the parking sensors. So that's that removed. Same again for the grills, you've got a series of clips around the outside. I just use this plastic trim tool with a little bit of upward pressure, using the trim tool to just spread the clip away from the grill itself. Work your way around and pop it out. So that's the original removed. As stated earlier on, the new parts fit exactly as per the originals. So just take a little bit of care to line them up, and then all you have to do is push them down into place until they clip in, and that's that part fitted. There we go, so that's that one in. Quickly flip it up, give you a sneak peek, but I'm sure you'll all get to see what it looks like at the very end with the complete package. So whilst we're at this stage with the bumper, we're just going to take a quick look at the first part of the front splitter. So 3 parts, 2 spoilers at either side and then the centre splitter section. Whilst these inner skins are off, it's actually a lot easier to get the side trims on. There's a downward fix in here, which is quite hard to get to through the side vent whilst it's still on. So I've taken the liberty of removing the original part here, a series of trim poppers underneath with a trim tool and 1 8mm in the end, which goes into this white clip here, which I've transferred already over from the original part to the new carbon part. New carbon part ready to go on. It's slightly larger than the original, which is why we've got this adhesive tape here. So I'm going to peel that off, heat it up to allow for better adhesion, and then we'll be able to slot it into place, put the fixing screw in the end and the lower trim clips to hold it in place, and that'll be ready for us to fit the rest of the splitter when it's back on the car. Okay, so as you can see, front bumper's complete, ready to go back on the car. It's pretty boring really seeing it all go back together, so I've done that bit. Everything's ready to go. Dan's busy, so we're going to upgrade my glamorous assistant, Alex, the master carbon fabricator. So he's just going to come in and grab the other end of the bumper for me, and we're going to get it on the car. He says, just like that. Something to do with the grill is not happy. Yeah, I think we're on. Voila. Cool. Thanks, Alex. Dan is sacked. Okay, so it's final flourish time on the front end. As you can see, Bumpers all back on, everything's fully fitted up, under trays apart from that front lip to give access to this. Yeah, everything all back on as it should be, ready to go. Front splitter, centre section, ready to go on. Retains the factory position of the fixing bolts on the front bumper underneath. And then there's bolt hole locations, one at either end to connect to the outer sections 2 and 3, which are already on, which we supply you the fixings for. So they'll go in, bit of tape on the end, offer it up, line it up, bolts in, bolt it up, and that should be that. Tim will give it a film, and that front end will be a wrap. So the original gets pulled off. We actually retain the original badge work. We've rehired Glamorous Assistant #1 specifically for this job, so Dan's going to swap the badges over because that's a bit of him, bit of detail work, and then they'll get put back on. So first things first, we need to remove the original part. As you can see here, with the use of some masking tape to protect the paint, these non-marine plastic tools should be okay anyway, but belt and braces to make sure everything's okay. It's just simply a case of getting behind it with the tool and popping it off. There's 3 clips along the back edge here and some sticky tape. So once those clips are off, it's a case of peeling it away and pulling it down. It's simple as that. So on to the next part, which is the door mirror cover, as you can see here in my hand. Full pre-preg carbon part with some nicely manufactured plastic clips on the inside. Total 100% replica of the original fixing location, so these go on really nicely. A bit of a fiddly job, just between obviously it being quite a delicate part and also just handling the mirror. You can fold it outwards, which looks a bit strange, but it helps you get access to the glass. As you can see, I've taped up around the outside to protect the plastic trim. Learned from experience these sorts of plastic trims mark up quite easily, so it's worth taking short time just to mask it up, and the same on the inside behind. But essentially what you need to do is carefully remove the glass. Expensive to replace these, so take time pulling those off, but normally just get behind it with a trim tool, pop it off and then release it. And there's a couple of electrical connections behind. That then allows you to unclip the cover itself, and then after that you've just got the side repeater to swap over, which is held in by 2 screws, normally a Torx fitting in there to get those off. So I'm going to crack on. We'll show you this side. The other side will be exactly the same, so nothing groundbreaking to see there. So it'll all be down on the driver's side of the car that you see, and as soon as I've got that done, it'll be on to the side skirts and sill trims. Okay, so door mirror cap is on. I'm sure Tim's spliced in lots of lovely footage of me getting that fitted. Next, we've got the side skirt. So this, again, straight replacement for the black part that's already on the car. Full pre-preg carbon fibre, nice and light, nice and strong. This is held together by a series of plastic rivets along the bottom. They are a one-use rivet, so we supply the replacement. Looks something a little like this in the bag. So to remove, you have to punch the centre out of the original part, and then it's quite handy to have the specific rivet tool for these plastic trim clips. So yeah, pop the centre out of the original ones, remove the tool, pull the trim off the car, give it a quick clean down, and then we're ready to send this on with the new clips, pull them into place with the rivet gun, and that's that. Straightforward and simple.
Oh, well, hello there. You join us in the sticky part of the job. So I mean that in the literal sense, actually. So Sam's removed these side breathers, although they don't breathe, they're called breathers or vents. As part of swapping these over for carbon, we actually need to change the logos on them. So there's no logos currently on here, although they've got all the clips. The only thing that needs to be done on the backside, 3 clips here, those change over onto the new part, and the logos themselves need to be then restuck on. So these are actually really easy to remove. Just to give you an idea right now, little trim tool underneath it, wiggle it around, comes straight off. It really is as easy as that. the tape stays on the actual breather there, so we need some new tape. So what we have here is some laser cut tape. So this applies to the badges, and then that will then go on to the breathers themselves. So we actually supply the laser cut vinyl or double-sided tape, so it makes it a little bit easier rather than cutting with a scalpel. This is a slightly better route. So I'm going to crack on with this one, and they'll be put on the car in a matter of minutes.
Okay, so finishing touches on the side of this car is the wing vent. So as you can see, side skirt is on, fully fitted, on very nicely, installed the plastic rivets, so all good there. Last bit is just to simply slip this on. We do replicate the taping location as per the original part, and then all that's required is to tuck the tangs in at the top and make sure all the 3 clips are pushed home firm. And she's on. Okay, ladies and gents, so we're on the final straight. As you can tell, the front of the car has now become the back of the car. So what we've got is the rear end package, M Performance style, centre diffuser panel, direct replacement for the standard part, and then the 2 outer skirts, strakes, whatever you wish to call them. They're going to go on the back corners here, and they've got the kick up to match the M Performance side skirts. So these are mostly straightforward. You're talking about a series of trim clips along the bottom edge on all of the parts, and then with a bit of masking up, which I'll do in a minute, the slightly tedious task of releasing all the trim clips around the top edge, and then you should be able to pull the part out and swap it out for the new one. So when I said the rear end was the final part, I was lying slightly. Got one more. It's the most expensive part in the M Performance catalogue, but it does come with a free full Carbonwurks carbon kit. So that's our little thank you to Tom, the customer. We hope he's happy. Just got to pop that in there. Okay. Nobody else will see it, but we know it's there. Okay guys, so that's it, complete for today. Another G series car bites the dust. So as you can see, we've got the rear end parts all fully fitted. I'm sure Tim's already included plenty of footage for you. Tom, the owner, has also managed to get a sneak peek already before it's finished. Cheeky. We know what he thinks. Why don't you let us know what you think of this car in the comments. We think it's yet another fantastic looking, one of the many greys which we lose track of, G82 M4. All this started because of his carbon wing, but I think you'll agree it's got the full complement of added carbon to match up. Yeah, we're happy, the customer's happy. Whilst you're in the comments, let us know what you think about this video style. Obviously a bit different from normal, more of my boring voice than Tim's good choice, good taste in music. But yeah, hopefully it gives you a bit more of an insight as to what we get up to, what it takes to get these parts on the car. Again, whilst you're there, a like, share and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. I think that's it. All that's left is for me to get it out of here and the customer get on the road. So with that, we're off.